You're listening to SM Media, the home of exclusive West of Scotland Football League content. Hi, folks, and welcome to the latest episode of the SM Media West of Scotland Football Show. I'm Scott McPike. It's always a pleasure to be your host, and I'm delighted to welcome my special guest in this week's episode. It's a pleasure to get him back on the show. It's one of my favourite people to talk about football with. It's the manager of Thorniewood United. It is the one and only David Gormley.
All right, mate. Good to be back on, mate. Thanks for inviting me on.
It's a pleasure, mate. As I say, we've spoke a few times about your kind of jobs over the past few years and got you in the West of Scotland show. You're at Thorniewood. There's a lot of obviously talk about the division you're in. But to start with the Thorniewood job, I'm not gonna lie, mate, right? And I think you'll appreciate where I'm coming from here. I was quite surprised when I heard you were going to Thorniewood because I'd known where, like, you'd obviously went to Cowan and you'd been at Broomhill, you'd done really well at WOSFL. What was it about Thornwood that stood out? What was that club? Because obviously it's a club that are a real tight knit community. It's a club that done really well getting into the first division. What was it about that club for somebody like yourself that went, right, I can go in there and do a job?
Right, where did I start? Obviously, you mentioned a couple of clubs I've been at, and to be perfectly honest with you, I've been shafted at the last two clubs I was at, Broomhill and Cowan. After the farce at Cowan, I took a wee bit of time to reflect and had a chat with my coaching staff, and we were out of the game for maybe a couple of months, and then the guys at Thornwood went to Cumbernauld,
Mm-hmm.
and that's my local team in terms of it's not a team I supported or anything like that. It was just where I stay now. It's the local West of Scotland junior team to it. So there was talk about it, and it was one of my coaches knows somebody in there, so they started talking, and basically they said, "But David would like to come for an interview," and without being too disrespectful towards anybody, probably the feeling that you had exactly the same thing in terms of I was like Thornwood. I think my position I'm at and where I want to be in coaching, I don't think that's the right decision. So, cut a long story short, fast forward a couple of days, they phoned me up and says, "Come for a chat." Went for a chat with the new owners now and the new chairman who's in place now, and it just sounded good. Sounded something I wanted to be part of in terms of a development thing, a plan. It wasn't just a 1 year process. There was a 2, 3, 4 year process, things in place. So that drove me to it. It drove me the fact that there was a target. There was loads of end goals, and it wasn't just about getting a winning team on the park. It's whole loads of community backing and things like that. And where Thornwood is, it's in Uddingston, and there's no really team. It's Uddingston, Thornwood and Thornwood and Bellshill are the two biggest teams about here. But everybody in this area probably doesn't know what Thornwood's Park is or doesn't know anything about Thornwood. So it was a challenge for me to get the community back and to get everybody in. The challenge was to get a good team on the park. For me, didn't need to be hit the ground running, success, trophies, league winnings. No, it was just let's maintain a steady team. Let's get a team on the park that we can look to building. While we're building the team on the park, off the park is getting built as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, the biggest thing for your side is that Thornwood Park is notorious for being a shambles, for being an absolute shambles, and it is. And I remember when we came in last year for the last 8 games of the season, and the park was a disgrace. There was daffodils, dandelions all over the park. It was a proper disgrace. So with my first initial meeting with the chairman and that, the owner, they were telling us about the Astro Park. They're going to be getting AstroTurf. There's going to be getting funding. We're going to try and work with the community to get funding. So bought into that. the problem was it wasn't going to be until next year, which is the year we're getting into. So we're going to have a year with the grass. So I tapped into my two pals who at the Ware head greenskeeper at Bordwell Golf Course.
Mm-hmm.
So they agreed to come on board with me and help me with the park. And to be fair, they've turned it around the park around. The parks went from a shambles to a decent park.
Seen that, yeah.
Granted, over the winter, with the loads of games off because we've got a bad corner, but the amount of rain it's fell the last 3 months is incredible. So, but the guys have worked to help me out as my mates, and they've went down and they've spent endless time. They've got the drones up, they've got the lines on the park and all that. Thornwood's never had that. So that's the first couple of months of the season we were playing there. It was a decent park, and now we're starting to see it as well. It was decent, but the in-between stage was horrible. I'm not going to lie, it was horrible. Changing rooms under the best. It's not the nicest facilities, but it's a traditional park. But the new owners and the new chairman have got great ideas to get a big AstroTurf park that involves the community, that's constantly generating community football with Thorniewood first team playing there.
And what about, obviously, like, I don't want to look too far into the future because we've not even discussed what the season's been like so far, but I mean, you look at certain players that you've brought in and kind of speaking to you off air just about what the kind of ambition is. Like, is there already an eye towards next season? And you said, obviously, there's a long-term vision, there's new owners and kind of hearing good things about them kind of off the park as well. Is there a wee bit of you kind of already looking into what's going to be happening for the next summer, for the next season? Like, we know, we speak about it all the time, that league is so hard to get out of, so hard to stay in, and we know that. But there's a forward-thinking plan. You can tell that just by Ross Forbes coming in, for example. What was that like as well? Because Ross Forbes obviously is terrific, been a terrific SPFL player. He obviously takes the step as well. What does that kind of tell you, like, when he kind of buys into something like that? Like, how exciting does that kind of make you feel as a manager towards the next kind of few years at the club?
It's good. It's good. I'll touch on your first point. It's good that the fact that there is a long-term plan, and that's probably because the previous clubs I've been at, it was all about here and now and then, which is good to a certain degree, but there also needs to be processes in place. There needs to be contingencies. There needs to be things in place. And that my day-to-day job, I do things like that. So I tried to bring that into my last club, and it just got shot down. Didn't work. And why I left and we parted company. But this time when I went in and I told them my views, my ideas of what we could have in the future, they bought into that. And then when they were telling me about the Astro, about the community, I bought into that. But in terms of the players, these conversations that I'm having with you right now is the conversations I've had with every player that I've signed last summer. Players I'm speaking to right now. I was on the phone to a player about 10, 15 minutes ago just before I came on here, and he was saying the same. I was telling him all the same thing, in terms of everything I've just said, and he said the same. He's like, that league you're in is incredibly hard. Mm-hmm. He's like, so for a team like us to go 9 games unbeaten is incredible. Is a credit to the players there, but a credit to your Ross Forbes that you mentioned. Roscoe's a pal of mine, which helps.
Yeah,
I played with Ross. I'm really good pals, and he's one of my best mates. Stuart Carswell as well is one of my mates. So I've managed to tap into these guys, but these guys aren't going to come just because of my pal.
Aye.
They're coming because they see a future, they see the process, they see the things that I'm telling them. Obviously, if it doesn't materialise, then I'm the one with egg in my face. But as it stands now, they could see small improvements. And by getting these 2 guys in, it's not just they two. They've brought on so many players in my team. They've brought on in terms of the boy Callum Scott that plays in the middle of the park. Having Carsey and Forbesy in there with Callum Scott has just brought him to the next level. Mm-hmm. He's been probably 6, 7, 8 sometimes out of 10, but he's just went to the next rung. No. There's a Jack McClare in there, steady Eddie. Played against Johnson Borough last week, and he was unbelievable. Yeah. So I mean, these players are not just bringing themselves on; they're there to help the players around about them, and that's been the most pleasing thing from me, that the first 3-4 months of the season was good. We dropped points at silly stages with errors, but these guys learned for that. And that is, I'm not saying that now because with the position I'm in. I was saying it then, and I think I probably spoke to you also through Mesh or whatever, and even anybody else I was speaking to. I was saying that to these people. The games we went down to Mabel and we beat them 2-1, we missed a penalty just before half time, we ended up getting beat 3-2. I was like, this is perfect for us for next year to learn for that. We go to Canvas, no disrespect to Canvas Lang. I know Paul very well, and I said the same thing to him last week when I seen him, but they've took 4 points off us.
Yeah.
That's not happening. So I've said that to the players. I said, this season is a massive learning curve in terms of, I want you to find this your level in this league. I need to find my level in the league. Because I played League 1, League 2, West of Scotland Premier. I came in last year for 8 games, but that was just about survival. So this year is all about me, my coaching staff finding our feet at this level. It's about the players we brought in that have seen the long-term plan. Come in this season, find your feet, find the team you're playing against. Away to Blantyre, away to Shorts. These teams that have been close-knitted together. Says, we're going to go there, we're going to learn for this. And then next year, this is when we should hopefully look to learn for these games and these environments and these players that we've played.
And you mentioned obviously that unbeaten run, and again, I keep going back to it. I mean, there's some results in there that are, I mean, could have huge impacts on the season, the end of the season. Like, again, going to Ashfield, winning 3-2, 1-2-1 at the Buffs. Obviously, I think that would have been kind of bittersweet for you personally, I'd imagine. But in terms of like kind of games and coming up against opposition, Shorts 3 each, Johnson Borough 2 each. Obviously, like we obviously mentioned, Petershill 2-2. They kind of started the unbeaten run. I mean, there's some really good sides there that you've been up against toe to toe, and that kind of must give you confidence that a couple of wee changes kind of moving into the next season, because the league is so tight and we know teams are going to come up and do well. We know teams are going to come down and probably hold their own quite well. So again, this league is always going to be so exciting, but being in it must be a nightmare. Like, it must be extremely difficult to really kind of get, because if you can get 3-4 wins in a row, you're probably going to be challenging for promotion. But you've been on a run, and it just has made such a difference to your season just to kind of get that balance in place. And you must be thinking, we can just have a better start. They're probably not there.
That's very true. You're right. And even a wee bit on the run, a couple of mans are speaking to me like, Goms, I'm like, we're not ready. I don't even want to think. Yes, we want to finish as high as we can because it looks good on us for next year, for players looking at the league. I says, but we're not ready to go up. But touching on that, last year when I came in with 8 games left, I think it was 9. We won, was it 9? Anyway, what it was. But we went, I set the players a target, 4 wins. It was 8 games. I was like, 4 wins out of 8. We stayed in the league, and we went 4 in the trot, and we won. And then we could beat our last 4. So the season kind of felt like a wee bit of a damp squid. So but then I was like, 4 wins in the trot is magnificent as well. It's brilliant in this league because it's a hard league last year, but even harder this year. And to go 9 undefeated, that's 4 wins. We went 4 wins in a row, and it was 5 draws. But that was so good to get that in terms of the morale about the place. And like you said, we went to Petershill. Petershill scored in the 89th minute to make it 2 each.
Right. We
went to St Roch's, and St Roch's 1 each. That's a good point for me. That's a good point to get a draw at St Roch's. And then the co-winning game. The co-winning game, the boys stood up to it in terms of, you could see that it was hostile. I was getting dogs, and that's when the boys dug me out. To be fair, and they knew that, and a couple of them were saying that half time and before the game and things like that. And that's when I knew. That's when I thought, I was like, we are all in this together in terms of we're all. It's me and it's no me and it's them, and it's everybody was just so bang at it, so focused on getting the 3 points that it was brilliant to see. And the performance we put in was really good. What other games are in there? So Rutherglen at home. Look at we beat Rutherglen 3-0 at home, and they've won every game since.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a brilliant result. Neilston at home we beat. Johnson Borough scored in the 95th minute when the ref said there was only 4 minutes to add on. Don't get me started on that because I ended up getting sent off and losing my rag. But we went toe to toe with Johnson Borough, and we had 12 fit players.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying to my assistant manager, Adam, I was like, you might need to go in here. And he's fit. I says, but you might need to go. And one of the boys was struggling, and he's like, I'll go in if I'm needed. But the boys dug out. One of the boys, he thought he'd dislocated his shoulder. He went over it, and he was in agony. He's like, I was like, you coming off? He's like, I'm not coming off. That was against Johnson Borough. They were bang at it. As I said, scored in the 95th minute. And then shots last week, I was suspended. So it was a wee bit of a first time I'd kind of dealt with the manager kind of being suspended, and we didn't really know how to react as such. Players were coming, with 4 or 5 players turned up at 45 minutes before kick-off, coming straight for work and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a wee bit all over the place. And then we went out, and they got a guy sent off, and we struggled to kind of find our way in the game, and shots are they're the best team we've played against this year. Doug John's got them just playing the right way in terms of three in the middle of the park are the busiest 3 players I've ever seen. We struggled to find a way. They went 1-0 up through a mistake for us. We then got it back to 1 each, and then we just kind of fell apart, and they scored bang bang two goals, 3-1, and I was standing up at the stand, but I was standing with my mates, and I was like, could kind of just blow the whistle. 50 minutes to go, I said, we don't know what's scored. Don't get me wrong, we get 2 dodgy penalties, but you take them, and we managed. So the boys showed a bit of character there, and they did. So we go to 3 each, and then Friday night there we played at Hamilton, where it looks as if we're going to be playing our home games there next year while the park's getting done.
Yeah.
We're going to be going to Hamilton, so I was really excited to see how a wee glimpse of how we're going to beat Hamilton. And I only really got 30 minutes of it because we got a guy sent off, they get a penalty, they score for the penalty, our shooters go down, their heads are down. So it was a bit difficult. We still played some nice football, and we kept the ball for majority parts of it. They scored a worldie, and then we kind of went chasing a wee bit, and we kind of lost our way, which finished at 4-1. But the first 30 minutes I was happy with. Dominated the ball, dominated the percentage, and we scored a cracking goal. But after the sending off on that park, it kind of kills the momentum of the game and things like that. So it was disappointing that way, but that was the end of our 9-game unbeaten run, which was magnificent, and it put us in a right good position in terms of survival was first, and then now we've got 5 games left that we can just go and relax in freedom and just go and finish as high as we can.
We'll get into obviously you obviously mentioned obviously Kilburnley, big result for them, obviously winning at Thorniewood on Friday night, obviously big, that obviously is a kind of big impact on Kilburnley for the season. With Junior Cup action as well, with the Junior Cup round up on Monday on our Patreon, so check that out if you haven't seen it. Darvel Atherley in the final at Broadwood, I think it's going to be the first week in June. Obviously, kind of massive for Atherley getting there as well. Darvel, I think their first final since 1978. Really, really good occasion. 2 West of Scotland sides, which obviously is ideal for this show. What's your kind of takeaways, and kind of 2 sides that are going to go there with a lot to look forward to?
Aye, and I never managed to get to the end of the semi-finals, but I believe there was good attendance there, and it was decent games as well, 2 games. So brilliant for that perspective for the West of Scotland. West of Scotland teams have dominated that kind of cup, so that's good they're back in it. It's good. It's good. Obviously, won it twice myself, so I know the feeling, and been in the final and winning. So it's a great feeling. It's a great achievement. I think Darvel have a bit too much for them. I think just they've got a bit of experience there, and they know they've done well this year. And the biggest thing is Tony Mack. Tony Mack seems to do well in the cups, and he's won the cup himself, so he knows what it's about. But if you were to look on the league form, you would go for Darvel. And I think maybe, I don't know, is this the reason Arthur's league form hasn't been as good as it is, because they've focused on the league in the cup, which if you were to ask anybody probably related with Arthur, they would rather stay in the league, I think, than win the cup. So it's a bit of a catch-22, but good luck to the 2 of them. I think Darvel will be able to get it over the line with the experience they've got in their team.
Brilliant occasion for both clubs, and as I say, it's obviously we're looking forward to the final. But with league action over the weekend, obviously, not many games to talk about, but we did obviously, I think, some massive results. starting the Premier Division. Bees moved level in points with Clydebank at the top. Obviously, they've got 3 games in hand. 2-1 away win to Hurlford. I'm not saying it's over, David, because there's a lot of football still left to be played. But I thought this would be the one. If Bees can go and win that, it would give Bees the initiative. And I think that's the one. Obviously, they get the point at Talbot a few weeks ago. They drew 0-0 away to Glenafton. But I thought this was the game, Hurlford. If they can get away with 3 points there, this would give them the edge. And I think that's where I'm kind of falling down. I think Bees will be hard to beat now.
I totally agree with you. I think last week's result against Glenafton was the one that probably, I would say, for your other teams, probably was a bit of a body blow, because the teams probably thought, seeing Talbot get down to Glenafton and dropping points and getting beat, I thought they maybe thought the same with Bees. So get down there and get a point's a good point for Bees, and it just keeps the momentum going. And then, as you said, they've went to Hurlford, Hurlford have came to them, sorry, and they've won. No, was that Hurlford, wasn't it? Was that Hurlford?
Hurlford, aye.
So that's a good result. They're doing well, and Straney's got a lot of credit to take, man. That he get dissed at obviously co-winning and that, and I think people looked at him taking the B's job as if it was just just taking it for the sake of it as such. But he's went there and he's produced year after year. Last year, they thought maybe a fluke year with the striker, the boy that was scoring all the goals, but delivered with Diver, and then he brought Docherty in. But the signing, I think, if he's plucked the boy Dunn out, Evan Dunn for Yoka, and he's went and scored loads of goals for him. So a lot of credit's got to go to Straney's, and I think they'll do. I think they'll get it over the line as well.
What about your old club, Talbot? Because I'd be remiss to obviously ask you about the season they've had. Obviously, the disappointment of the Junior Cup. I think I said this a couple of weeks ago talking to Popey, obviously, and I'd said about just being in the position to be challenging. They're not. Do you know what I mean? They're probably the most likely to mount a challenge towards Bees if Bees were to slip up. But see, even just to be in that position, Tucker again, just when the chips are down, when he's rebuilding a squad, he's got them up there.
Definitely. The poor start to the season. I speak to Alan every week, and I'm saying they had a poor start to the season, and they just managed to then they regrouped and they just managed to just start chipping away at points and things like that. It's that atmosphere. It's the crowd in it, Talbot.
Yeah.
It's so intimidating. It's teams get down there and they get a wee bit frightened. But they've got a few decent players, Talbot, and they probably next year, I think, for them will be the ones that they'll kick on next year. And they'll probably be the favourite. I would say the favourites for next year, along with your Beeves or whatever. But fair play to them. And as you said, the job Tucker does, he just plucks wee gems for here and there, and then they all gel together. So it was disappointing to see them drop the points at Glenafton, because I thought if they did, then they could have maybe made it a bit more interesting. But I think it's and even put them, they usually get a wee cup over the line, but being out all the cups as well is a bit frustrating. I seen them getting beat off with penalties with Pollock, so that was a bit frustrating, because you'd have liked them to get through to the final there.
Speaking of Pollock, I think a marvellous job that Max has done over the past few months, when there's obviously been difficult situations going on behind the scenes. 4-2 win away to Gartcairn. They're now in third place, probably looking kind of close to. They'll be challenging for or trying to finish second or third, or obviously kind of best of the rest. I think Max deserves a lot of credit, because it's been a difficult job.
It has. There's been a lot of turmoil in terms of players in, players out, had to cut wages, things like that. A lot of noise in the background. So fair play to him. He's managed, I think, the last maybe month or 6 weeks, 2 months or whatever, he's managed to get a lot of points on the board, which has been good. So fair play to him, because as I said, there's been a lot of noise coming out of Paul. It's not really what you want to hear and things like that. So he's done well to just stay focused and get the boys to get a tune at them. Gartcairn as well, going to Gartcairn and winning is not going to be easy. The players at Gartcairn have got, so fair play to them, definitely.
Absolutely. Largs 1-0 win away to Irvine Meadow. We'll touch on Irvine Meadow in a second, but Largs again, well show with a goal. 5th place they're in as well. I think Arnie's just done a terrific job, just so solid. 13 wins. Again, Largs, I'm not going to disrespect them and say it's a solid season, but because it's been remarkable with what he's had to do, but just by being in that position again, they're never in doubt, lags. Do you know what I mean? They're just so comfortable in the league, and I think Arnie deserves such enormous credit for the job he's done there as well.
Definitely. If there was a manager of the year, it would always be Arnie for me every time. Either if they're in relegation, there was a year they were down and out and nobody thought they were good, and he just managed to win this wee run.
The season 7 went down. Like that was the season he managed to pluck them out, and I was like, that's a massive job he's done there.
Last year they finished well, and then this year's fifth. Lags have got no right being fifth.
No
right with your Pollocks, Talbots, even the money that like your Cumlocks and that spend, they've got no right. But if again he just seems to he's a listen. I played with Arnie, so I know what he's like, and if he installs that in his team, then nobody's going to be shouting out tackles and things like that. So, no, fair play to him. He's done brilliant to get them up to the position of it.
Obviously, having Meadow, that result meant that they are going to be relegated at the end of the season. It's just been a really, really bad situation, and it's just been kind of a bit tumultuous to say the least. But I think now Ben's in. I think Ben's a guy who he's got a lot of time for Urban Meadow. I mean, like he's brought up Urban Meadow. He's been there a while. I think it's the right time just in the summer. I know it's going to be a tough league to get out of, and I think even they realise that. But get the right people in, get a bit of stability, and just try and kind of get a bit of solid nature at the club, because it's just been Aaron Meadow shouldn't be down. Let's be honest, but I think they maybe need just a wee reset just to kind of try and kind of build back up again, because it's been that tough. I think Ben's the right guy though to be there.
I would agree with you, and I don't know the guy Ben, but I've only played against him and that and things like that. But he's a meta guy, and it gets back to what I said at the start of the show. It's about these clubs need to have the stability, they need to have the processes in place. It's not just about the next couple of months. It's a massive long season. You need to be focused on the full duration of it. You bet yourself. And I don't think Meda done it right in terms of they've chopped and changed managers constantly, not at the right appointments sometimes. So I getting Ben in, but then he needs to. I think he will, but it's not going to be a quick fix either. They need to get through. So give him the time, give him the what he needs and the facilities to get himself into a position to do what he's got to do. So it's a shame seeing that for anybody, but maybe it's the best thing to happen for them to get down to restock to see where they're at for next year. Do they want to go and splash X, Y, or Z money to be punching mid-table of the league, or do they want to just consolidate and be happy and be comfortable and no being overspending, which some teams do?
Yeah, absolutely. Cumnock's going to be all changed there in the summer. They won 4-1 away to Rob Roy. Beach, Fry, Watt, and Mackenzie with the goals. Probably the news was after the game. New management announced Stephen Swift obviously coming for Broomhill. It's a very ambitious appointment. It's one I didn't see coming. I heard a couple of names in like McCumlock. Swifty wasn't one of them.
I'd heard Swifty myself, to be fair. I'd heard him, he was knitting about managing in the Lone League he was, so the Lone League's know what it should be in terms of the appetite and the challenge that the West gives you. So you can see why he's moved. So Swifty he always builds apart. He had a probably difficult year at Broomhill there, but he always seems to build really decent teams. So he will get them going. But yeah, I think we Cumlock. I think Cumlock's Medas, even I don't know who else in there, maybe get Cole Winnings and things like that. These teams need to be focused on getting Ayrshire players now. I think the time of Glasgow boys going down, because Glasgow boys can get the same money here. So I think it's a whole different process. Again, needs to be sit down at the table. What's our targets? We can't even flooding it with Glasgow boys and spending loads of money on that when we need to maybe do it with the Ayrshire boys, because there's loads of talent in Ayrshire. So I don't know. I think it'll be a hard task, but then again, what is the foresight for Cumlock? Do they want to go and challenge next year? And I think that'll be Swifty's aim, because he's always been bred into the challenging and winning. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does there.
Yeah, absolutely. Final game in the Premier Division, Troon 2 going after nil, double from Kyle Gilroy. I think it kind of guarantees Troon's safety, and again another lot of credits to go to Jimmy and Dean at Troon as well. Glenafton, I think obviously they've got 5 games left. They've got a big game this week as well. Like, looking at their kind of games coming up, I mean, they're away to Beith, they play Rob Roy in the 4th of May. That's going to be probably pivotal. I think Troon and Glenafton, though, I think Troon especially obviously staying up, but 2 sides that I think will be comfortable.
And again, Troon, Dino, similar to your Arnie, Dino just seems to get the best out of players and just seems to survive year in, year out. And they're sitting above Gartcairn right now. And if you look at the money Gartcairn spent compared to Troon, it's totaled off ends of the table. So fair play to Dino, fair play. Glenafton were on a wee bit of a run, they were decent. Caddis has got them playing well, and so that's a good result for Troon. The Glenafton one, I think they'll be safe, and I think Caddis has come in and he's turned them around a wee bit. And he's got them doing well and picked up a good few points. So, touching on the last game you're talking about, sorry mate, you talk about Rob Roy. I'm very surprised about them being in the position they're in. Again, are they the same as Arthur? They were put all their eggs in one basket. I don't know, but I was surprised to see the position they're in. And that's another team. If it's going to be them coming down, your top name, Arthur and Meda, it's just going to, early next year is just going to be incredible. With the 3 big teams, but it's a shame to see that because also Rob Roy's a former team of mine, so I'd like to see them maintain their Premier League survive position. So hopefully maybe they could, but then they're playing against Glenafton, who's another former team, so it's it's a hard one, but it's the football world we live in. It's dog eat dog, so it's I'm just surprised to see Cumbernauld in that position because and even I don't even get off topic here, but I don't even know what's happening with the park. There's been a lot of talk about the park.
It's chaos, isn't it? It's right.
You don't want that happening while you're trying to focus on a game of football. There's less a background noise you can get about your club while you're doing the football side. That's what you want, but seems to be a lot of noise coming out of the back, which isn't good.
On to the First Division, David, and obviously we touched on Friday night's game. Kilburney 4-1 winners away, obviously at Thorniewood. Kilburney, probably too late for them to challenge, but I think, like yourselves, probably aside for next season.
Sperry that's turned that around as well. I think they had a bit of a disappointment at the start of the season, similar to ours. So, we played them 2 weeks ago. We played them 2 weeks ago, and it was the weekend of the wind was terrible. So,
yeah.
3-1 each with them down there, and then, as I said, touched on it Friday night. We got a guy sitting off after 30 minutes, and it just totally killed the game. So, it's hard to judge, but I think they went to Johnson Borough and beat them. So. Couple of weeks ago, so they were they're decent. It's all about as if they can hold on to the striker they've got. He's decent. I think there's a few teams sniffing about him, so decent enough teams playing that Scott.
Drumchapel 3-0 win away at Cambuslang. Docherty, Buck and Muneer with the goals obviously puts them their 3 points clear at the top. I think it's probably likely to say, obviously Hope was on a couple of weeks ago. I think Drumchapel are probably. They've got a massive game tonight as we're recording this, obviously against Bo'ness. Yeah. But I think they're pretty good to go up, aren't they?
Aye. I don't think you got much viewings that week, did you, when Hope was on?
Well, actually, no.
But
always got a laugh.
Aye, no, Drumchapel's your winners for the league this year. And rightly so, they're a good team. They've built a good squad, and on their AstroTurf part, they're a decent, very good team. Don't get me wrong, they can flip it on the other side when they get away to get signs, and they've got players that can hurt you, man. I went to the week before we played Kilburney, I went down to Kilburney to watch Kilburney Drumchapel, and they were very good in terms of the players they had. Templeman was good, Hopcutt was good, so the boy Mackenzie, so they've got a good team, and good luck to them. It's fair play to them, hoping that they've took them for the bottom of the bottom, and then they've climbed every year. So the Scottish Cup running that they were on, so good luck to them, and hopefully they manage to build on this for next year in that league. Yeah,
I think a lot of credit has to go to Joe at Rutherglen as well. 2-0 win over St Roch's. They've just been so solid this season as well. And again, really hard to pick the other 2 teams that are going to get promoted as well. But I think a lot of credit has to go to Rutherglen. And they're a side you would fancy to finish strongly.
They are. And as I said, we beat them, and I don't think they've been beat since. So it just shows you, obviously my guys have torn my team, so it shows you how well we done, but they're a stuffy team. they and Blantyre and Shorts are three teams that are just stuffy in terms of they've been about here. Joe's been about this league, he knows what it's like. So they've got some decent players as well. I watched their highlights against St Rochs and they seem to score daily and then they seem to pounce on that. So fair play to them. Are they going to go up? I don't know.
I'll get your thoughts on that in a second. Shots 1-4-2 away to Whitletts. What Augusta mentioned in St Rochs as well. Obviously, Ian's done a really good job there as well. And I think they're like yourselves, obviously, a side to kind of take seriously next season. Shots 1-4-2 away to Whitletts. Danny Burns with a double. He's been a really good signing for Shots as well. Shots have got the games. They've got a massive game coming up on Wednesday as well, potentially a cup final on Sunday if they win that. Shots have been really, really impressive. I had Shots to go down, and I've said that to John. I was like, John, hand on heart, I apologise. I did not see this coming, and I didn't, and I still think what a job he's done there. And if just them being in the conversation of getting promoted is a massive achievement.
Definitely, I've just checked there. They were going to be 1-0 at half time, but it's 1 each now. So fair play them against Darvel. But Shots are a good team. They're a very good team. I think they're probably the best we've played. We played them 3 times this year. Twice in the league, won the cup, and every time it's been a right hard game. We've driven them twice in the league. So they've got good players, and Danny Burns was the difference in 2 of the games, the 2 league games we played. He scored a cracker last week. And then when we played them the first time, he scored as well. So I would love for them to go up. I would. But are they ready to go up? Are they going to maintain? That's my fear of the teams getting up. Probably minus Drumchapel and Johnson Borough. I want teams to go up and being able to maintain getting up. I don't want just your yo-yo teams. So I can't say that, but for myself, I wouldn't want my team to go up just to come straight back down. That's where my fear is I think Drumchapel and Johnson Borough can maintain it if they were to go up. So it's just what other team are they going to maintain it? Are they going to be ready? But shots have got the games. Is it going to be too late? I don't know. I think it's probably between them and Rutherglen.
Ashfield, again, Mick's done a great job there as well. 2-1 away win at Neilston. They've got a big game coming up as well. They play Kilburnley on Wednesday as well after the pod will go out. Ashfield as well, another side that I thought they would do well. I don't think they'd be challenging for promotion.
Again, I thought they would do well. They've got decent teams. They've spent a good bit of money, so they've got Dan Miller and Kenny Marshall in, so 2 great players. Bobby Barr as well. So they've got good players. Big Sean as well. Slavin I've managed before, so they've spent a good bit of money this year. So they've maybe went for it to try and get up. I don't know. Is it going to be too little, too late? I don't know. I don't know. They're another one that they're sitting on the cusp, but they need to put a good. I think they've got 5 games left, so I think 4. I think they would need 4 wins. Maybe I don't. I think I need a crystal ball to find out who's going to go up, but it's interesting anyway. But they're decent. They're decent. I went to watch them against Drumchapel and then managed to pick off a couple of wee things, and then we went and played them. We beat them 3-2, and it was good to see because obviously the things that we learned at the Drumchapel game we put into fruition for the game when we played them, and we managed to go toe to toe with them. So that was good.
In terms of Johnson, obviously new appointment. Murdo McKinnon's in there as new manager. Again, they've obviously got the games as well. All the best to Murdo at the job at Johnson. Right, I'm going to put you in the spot. We've both agreed Chapel will be top. Who will finish second and third?
Johnson Borough finished second.
I think so.
They've got 8 games left and are sitting at 37 points. I don't know if they'll finish second. I'll go back in my word there. They'll get promoted.
Right, okay.
I think 52 points gets you promoted.
Okay.
Which, and then I think for second you're either talking Glencairn, Ashfield or Shots. Me personally, I think it'll be Shots.
Okay. Okay, we'll revisit that at the end of the season. Second division, obviously, a draw her up comfortably. Big game in terms of promotion as well. Caledonian Locomotive 6, Cumbernauld United 0. Don't think a lot of people saw that result coming. Very impressed with Caledonian Locomotives with that result. That's a great result.
Fantastic result. And very good team. All teams, so you kind of watch it for them, things like that. But they've got a few decent players in there. But like you said, I don't think anybody in this country thought that result was going to happen, because Cumberland must have been doing well. And again, another team that spent a good bit of money for that league to get straight back out. So, but I think it might be a bit too late for Cali locals. I think
Probably, yeah.
Three that are sitting in that position, probably the three is going to go up.
Aye,
I think it will be a Dawson, Fairclyde, Cumbernauld, which is a bit of a frustration for Cali local, because they've also put a wee run towards the end of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Other two really impressive results, obviously. Glasgow Persia 3, Kilsyth Rangers 1. Probably kind of does Kilsyth Rangers chin a chance of promotion massive harm, but massive result for Glasgow Persia. Craig Monroe with a hat-trick for them. Muirkirk as well. I think Ross deserves a lot of credit there. 3-0 win over Craig Mark. The other game was Larkhall 0, St Anthony's. But Persia and Muirkirk, big wins.
Aye, it is. It's definitely. It takes Persia away for the relegation bit, because every league's got somewhere interesting. I think, obviously, in our league, the relegation maybe looks as if it could be settled a wee bit. Promotion is still to play for in our league. The league below, promotion's probably done, but relegation is massive in that league. There's like 3 teams that are tight. So obviously the bottom 2 teams, I think, are also there away. It's Wishaw and Glasgow Uni, but you've got Craig Mark, Perthshire in 4th, and even St Anthony's and Bonnet you could drag into that. So there's 5 teams potentially could get down in one spot for 5. So aye, it's interesting league.
Absolutely. Lanark in the 3rd division, 3-2 away win over Dalry. I think it probably puts Lanark in the driving seat for promotion.
Aye, Darrow's went in there and he's built a great team, and he's got them flying. We played them, and it's like our go-to for them and us for friendlies if you need to. So we played them twice, I think, this year in friendlies, and they've been every time it's been a proper evenly matched friendly. So aye, he's got them playing well, and I think the wee run they've went on to pick up loads of points has just took them towards the end of the championship.
Quite a dramatic 2-2 draw. Bellshill and Threave drew 2-2. Les Mahago, very, very impressed with them. I think they might be able to creep up as well. They won 2-1 at home to Girvan. Kello 3-1 home win over Fanart. Mark Arnold with a double for Kello. Probably too late for Kello in terms of staying up, but probably kills Fanart's chances, doesn't it?
It does, because Fanart have got the games on board, which is the Bellshill. A lot of credit to Bellshill, because they're sitting in a great position. So it looks as if they will go up. Still a lot to play for, mind you, but aye, they've done really well to get them in the position they're in. I know nearly in that there, so they've done brilliant there to get that. So well done to them. But like you said, I think that defeat from Fanart's kind of killed their chance, and it looks as if the 3 sitting in that position will go up. And they're leading a team I don't know much about, but fair play to them for getting that 3rd spot probably.
Yeah, absolutely. Glasgow United 6, West Park United 0. David Goodwillie with 4 goals. Again, we said at the start of the season, a player of David Goodwillie's quality is going to score a barrel load of goals in that division. And I'm right in saying I think 41 goals he scored. Now, obviously it's a difficult one, but he scored a lot of goals, and Glasgow United have done well because of that.
Yeah, they have, and it's somebody I know, and I've played alongside with for a full year. Sat next to the guy going up to Inverness, and he's a good guy, and I used to just hang on to every word he was saying in terms of, he used to tell me about the Premier League days and all that. So aye, it was good to. He's a good guy, and good knowledge in the footballing world. So he was like I was saying about your Forbes and your Carswells. To me, he's probably went into Glasgow United and probably helped a lot of players in there, not just with his goal scoring, but bringing them on and helping them and learning them and teaching them the game. And then obviously his goal scoring speaks volumes, because he's banged them in 41 goals. So brilliant for him.
Yeah, absolutely. 4th division, congratulations to Glenvale. They are promoted. They had a very impressive 8-0 victory over Saltcoats over the weekend. I think a lot of credit is to go to Lewis for building the side. Brian Connor with 4 goals as well. I think Glenvale are a side that could maybe just boost up and boost. We've seen it with Kilsyth. We've seen it with Kilsyth. We've seen it with with clubs. They're another one who could just jump up and up.
I don't know loads about them, but you obviously see them winning week in, week out, and you see them obviously win the league. And it's Jamie's brother that's the manager there, so you
Yeah.
can. But so they've done well. So I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Other results in the 4th division: Royal Albert 1-2-1 at East Kilbride Thistle. Easterhouse 6-0 winners over Campbelltown Pupils. And New Mains BSC beat Carluke 2-0. New Mains 3, Eglinton 3. I don't know if you've seen a piece that went up on Twitter today regarding East Kilbride Thistle.
No.
Have you not seen this? Now, I've got a lot of time for Aaron. I've got a lot of time for the people at East Kilbride Thistle. I think there was a bit of an issue regarding Grand National. I think a lot of players went to the Grand National, if I'm right in saying. That's not a good look. And I can understand Aaron's frustration with that. Like, if players are going to a horse meeting as opposed to a game, it's not a good look. If that's true, if that's that's been reported today, not a good look. But I think a lot of positives to go. Royal Albert, I think, are aside for next season. Easterhouse, I think Steve's done a really good job in there as well. BSC have done well. Knightswood, I want to give a mention to as well. Lose their coaching staff to St Peter's and then beat them 4-1 away from home. That's probably a wee bit bittersweet as well.
And I know the St Peter's guys as well too, or the ex-Knightswood guys. I work with one of them. And I messaged them first thing Saturday, 5 o'clock, saying get up, he's a bit of sweet. But and I think the boys to add more fuel to the fire. The boy who scored the hat trick for Knightswood, they released him when he played with Knightswood with him, Nixon.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
they had him, then they released him. So he's probably went back and scored a hat trick because the managers released him. So it's a wonderful world of football, and that's why we love it, because there's so many things that can happen that you don't expect. So, but St Peter's, they'll be speaking to the guy I work with. They've got good things coming out their way. They've just struggled to get players into St Peter's because clubs have held on to them, the deadline and things like that. So I think they'll come good. But another team is WOSFL. Josh has got them playing well as well. Hopefully they can get up and get out of the league as well, because they obviously play decent football and get decent players. It's just the only worry for them is they've played a lot of games. They've got the games played, so it's just well, I know they can hang on to the 2 remaining games they've got left.
Absolutely, yeah. But that recaps a busy weekend in the west of Scotland. Dave, it only gets busier because we're entering May, and I was in this conversation actually in a podcast I was doing earlier. May is shaping up in all levels of Scottish football to be quite mammoth. In west of Scotland, it's going to be the same. We're going to have a cup final this weekend as well that we don't know who's going to be playing yet. We're probably going to be just too early confirming who we got. As Shots won, Darvel won at the moment, I believe. In terms of kind of looking ahead, I want to kind of get your thoughts on this actually, because Thorniewood have 5 games left, 4 of them are at home. And I don't want to say you could be kingmakers, but you could be pretty close, because some of the teams are playing. You play Blantyre, play Johnsonborough, play Ashfield, and then play Drumchapel at home. I mean, you could hold all the aces in the terms of the league.
I know. And that's it. I would rather do that than play teams that are middle of the table and not getting to play for. And that's good for us, and that's good for my boys. And I've told them that. I says, we make a decision here of what happens in this league. Mm-hmm. So, we've got 5 games left. We've got the next 4 games are against teams that are going for promotion. The last game of the season is against Neilston, who I think if they're not down, I think they will be down. So
yeah.
So it's going to be a good end to the game. But the next 4 are going to be juicy, definitely. And Blantyre starts on Blantyre on Saturday. So I've told them that. I says, if we think we're coming to have a wee end of swan song and chill out, you can think about something different, because every team we play against is going to be bang at it. So he's going to look very silly if he's out. And I think the wee bit I touched on from last year, when we went and won 4 in a row, and then the last 4 we get beat. We played Gartcairn, St Caddock, St Rochs, somebody else, and we get beat, and it was a terrible ending. Mm-hmm. So I've got that feeling, I've got that to say to the guys that that's not happening this year. It's definitely not happening. So, 4 games to go, 5, 4 against the big hitters. So, bring on.
Davey, I can't thank you enough for joining me in this week's episode, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure. Best of luck for the rest of the season, and best of luck for your time at Thorniewood, mate. I thoroughly enjoyed it as always.
Thank you very much, mate, and keep up with it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone who tuned in, folks. Please follow us on social media, and we'll be back for a new episode next week of the West of Scotland Show. Thank you very much.